Previously on the Arch Campbell Show.
What do you say to an engineer in a three-piece suit?
What do you say to an engineer in a three-piece suit? I have no idea. What?
Will the defendant please rise?
Will the defendant
Yes,
please
of
rise?
course.
Thank you very much. What do you call a vampire who eats a lot of junk food?
Obese. No. Actually, that's easy. Count Snackula.
Count Snackula. Can we have any reaction in the audience,
Wow,
please?
this is a tough crowd.
Personally, I like that one.
Why does SeaWorld record some of their calls?
Well, SeaWorld, I looked into this. SeaWorld records their calls because some of them are used for training purposes.
What is a humanitarian like me doing on a show like this?
And now, lower your expectations for Arch Campbell.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, down low again for another night together, and thank you for being here. And it's such an exciting night for us. This is our summer movie spectacular, so I'm very excited about this, and I hope you will stay with us for it. But right now, one of our dear friends is in the announce corner. Let's say hello to the one and only Mr. Joe Hansard.
Hey, Art.
The semi-famous actor. And Joe, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Arch. It's great to be back.
Who are those people behind you? What the heck is that?
These are my buddies, the Ninja Turtles. They're making a comeback. Yeah, I remember these guys from the 90s.
They got a movie opening this summer, too.
Yeah,
so
August 8th.
They're standing in the wings back there.
That's right. It's Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and the other turtle.
One.
Yeah.
Are they bothering you, or is it okay?
Well, it's a dull roar right now, so it's okay.
All right. Well, tonight we're doing a summer movie special, so I guess that's why they're here, and you're going to be part of that. So we'll hear about that later. But right now, if you would do me a favor and introduce our first guest, please, one of my favorites.
Sure, Art. Your first guest has enjoyed a long and distinguished career reviewing movies and theater on television and in newspapers.
Oh, my.
Her column, The Family Film Goer, appears every week in the Washington Post and in newspapers around the country. She's a regular on Wheaties Around Town.
Oh, educational.
Yes, she's very educated, just like us.
Yes.
Please welcome the delightful, the delovely Jane Horwitz.
Oh, Jane Horwitz.
Hey, Arch.
Do they call you delightful on Around Town when you're on that
constantly.
program?
I'm just a constant delight.
I
can't help it.
A constant delight to me because we've been friends for a long time,
That's
and
true.
I love it when you're on the program. And you know, the summer starts, and people think this is a lousy summer, and then suddenly things emerge, and after all, you think maybe it's not such a bad summer after all. What's your opinion?
Well, there are all these tentpole movies that Hollywood likes to call them, all these big, and they've all been, some of them have been good, but they're good but gloomy. They're all these dystopian, apocalyptic, dark, and they're even darker because they're in 3D. And if you've ever slipped off your 3D glasses, you see how many shades of light disappear as soon as you put them back on. But they've been good. And we talk about X-Men, Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past. What did you think?
I kind of enjoyed it. It was a time travel movie, which is not anything unusual, except that we got to see the young versions of Professor X, Professor Xavier, and Magneto, played by really good actors.
And Hugh Jackman, you know, is such a great actor, and kind of carries the whole movie, I think.
Yeah, I think he should do Wolverine the musical. Might be interesting.
I wonder if he will. Now, every summer, I think, has a comedy that everybody buzzes about, and I believe the comedy this summer is 22 Jump Street with Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
You don't agree?
I didn't love it as much as you. I thought it was funny. It's, for some reason, watching someone as good looking as Channing Tatum act like a doofus is just, it's charming, it's funny.
Hey, it's worked for me.
Well, and the two of them together, Jonah Hill is this sort of geeky guy, and Tatum as this athletic, handsome hunk who hasn't got a brain cell to his name. They're just funny together, and it's exactly the same movie. Even the Ice Cube's character, their captain or lieutenant, whoever, he actually says in some of his dialogue that this is just a cheapo, cheesy sequel to the to what you guys did the last time, just in a different location. So.
I think 22 Jump Street is one of the 10 biggest movies of the year so far, and you know, I think we need a comedy, and so I'm down with that. Now, I believe we both agree on Chef, the Jon Favreau. In fact, more people have given me great feedback on Chef than most movies I can think of this year.
Everybody I've talked to who's seen it have really enjoyed it. And it's funny, you know, because Jon Favreau started out as an indie filmmaker years ago, 20-something years ago. But he's become this huge, big-time director-producer. He did the Iron Man movies, and, you know, and suddenly he decided to step back and have a little fun and write, direct, and star in his own little movie about a guy who's gets fired from a fancy restaurant and buys a food truck.
And they stop off in Austin and get barbecue at Franklin's.
Oh, that's why you liked it.
That
they start in Florida and drive back to L.A.
And it's a father-son thing. And, you know, I think people like those. Both of us are excited about Guardians of the Galaxy, which is coming up August 1st. And I have a feeling that this may be the blockbuster of the summer.
I loved it. I was sitting next to you, I think, at the screen.
We were sitting together.
It was hilarious, and it's a really brainy script. The jokes don't talk down to the audience. They're, you know, literary jokes and cultural jokes and all kinds of stuff, and yet there's nothing pretentious about the movie. It's just really fun. And Chris Pratt, who you think of as sort of a second Banana type actor, lost a bunch of weight and lifted a bunch of weights, lost weight and lifted weights, and looks, you know, like a total leading man, action movie leading man, and he's hilariously funny, and the whole cast is good.
Part of the gag is the use of light rock from the 80s, too. In fact,
and cassettes.
Yes, real, you know, cassettes and Walkmans and that sort of thing. I think we're going to hear a lot about Guardians of the Galaxy, so that's August 1st. Now, what movies are close to your heart this summer?
Oh, I had to make a list here. There's a children's film that's sort of the E.T. for 2014, Earth to Echo, which I thought was just charming.
It
about these little kids who find an alien creature out in the desert, and it looks like a clockwork owl, like a toy owl, but it beeps and it's from up there, and they have a huge adventure with it, and they're bad humans who also want it. It's very E.T.-esque. And maybe it's not as brilliant as E.T., but it was awfully sweet and charming, and I thought that it was a lovely movie.
And mention Obvious Child to me,
will you?
Because this woman comedian
Jenny Slater,
quite funny and
Slate.
quite
I'm sorry,
dirty.
Slate. Oh, dirty.
Quite dirty.
Filthy dirty. Or my mom used to say, it's not dirty, it's naughty. But this film is dirty. This film's dirty.
This one really is.
She plays a stand-up comic struggling in New York in the grungiest comedy clubs of New York, and her boyfriend breaks up with her, and she's heartbroken, and she meets a new guy who seems like a nice guy, but she gets pregnant right off the bat. And here's a movie that deals pretty candidly with the issue of abortion, among other things, but it's definitely an indie comedy for adults, but very well done.
It's a Blue State movie, and let's both mention Begin Again, which is another little indie favorite of mine.
For people who liked the Broadway musical Once or the movie Once, this is the director-writer who did the movie Once that the musical's based on. And once again, it's a story of a music industry guy who's sort of on the on
midlife.
Played by Mark Ruffalo.
Everybody
who meets
loves
a young,
Mark Ruffalo.
And he meets Keira Knightley, who plays a singer-songwriter.
I think she's great.
They're both great, and it pulls him out of his doldrums, and they have this wonderful time shooting a music video all over Manhattan. It's
Jane, I love your take on the movies, and we're doing all summer movies. Our dear friend Jason Fraley is going to join us in a minute. So, so shall we take a break and go back to our dear friend Joe Hansard? But first, a big round of applause for my dear friend who lived in Texas for a while, Jane Horowitz. Now, Joe Hansard
Oh, hey, Arch.
Are those turtles still bothering you?
They've calmed down a little bit.
Have they?
Yeah,
I
they're
think
fighting in slow motion now.
They bought a pizza back there.
Yeah, I can't wait, Arch.
How can we follow this? What is coming up? Entice the viewers to stay with us, will you?
It's not going to be easy, Arch, but tonight in the Arch Campbell Show, WTOP film critic Jason Fraley joins the conversation.
That's
he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's going to talk about summer movies.
More of that. There's more.
There is more,
Yes,
Arch.
yes.
Plus, moi has an exclusive cell phone report from a glamorous movie premiere I attended in beautiful Frederick, Maryland.
You went to the Frederick FIlm Festival?
The Frederick FIlm Festival. Frederick is the new Hollywood, Arch.
That's great. Maybe the new Sundance. What else? Quickly.
Well, find out how you can win free stuff and other crap from this program. Plus the usual mistakes.
Give away one of those turtles.
Yeah, we're going to give away a turtle. All that and less tonight on the Arch Campbell Show. Back to you, Arch.
Thank you, my friend Joe Hansard. Now, folks, here's a look at the year's biggest box office winners. And as you look, listen to a classic by Sam and Dave.
Hi, I'm Ed Sanchez, the director of the Blair WItch Project, and the new Bigfoot movie exists. And speaking of prehistoric dinosaur creatures, you're watching the Arch Campbell Show.
Hey, Ed Sanchez. Look, everybody, let's bring on Jason Fraley, one of the smartest guys in town for WTOP Radio.
Ed got you pretty good there.
Well, you know, get in line.
Yeah,
what do you want, Joe?
Is it time for my movie?
No. That's in the next segment. So just go over here.
Oh, God.
Can we do this while eating pizza?
I think those turtles are passing out
Somewhere
pizza
around
here.
here.
Well, I want to mention that you're on WTOP on Friday mornings at the 7 o'clock hour, the 9 o'clock hour, and the 11 o'clock hour.
5, 7, 9, 11. Yeah, the odd hours on Friday mornings, 40 past the hour.
You know, we're the odd couple right here.
Right here, yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about the stuff you like and I like too, and let's start with Boyhood.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, what a movie.
It's truly one of a kind. I mean, they've tried this longitudinal study documentaries before, but it's the first fiction movie that tried this. So, writer-director Richard Linklater cast a 6-year-old boy back in 2002. They've been working on it that long. They shot a couple scenes, waited a year, shot a couple more scenes, waited a year, and so on for 12 years. And so it kind of serves as, not only do we see these characters literally grow up before our eyes, but it serves as a time capsule of each of those years with the music and the technology.
It touched me because you literally watch this kid grow up, and at the end of the movie, he's stepping into young adulthood.
Oh, absolutely. And there's a lot here for parents to kind of to pull from Ethan Hawke's character who plays the divorced father of, you know, it's
and he kind of grows up.
Oh yeah, the adults, and Patricia Arquette's the mom, and they offered some advice for the kids that won't say what happened at school today. He says, no, we're not going to be that cliche thing. We're going to talk. And so yeah, it's a delightful movie. Maybe my favorite of the summer.
Now you did a Q&A with Steve James.
Yes.
Who did the documentary
AFI
on
Docs.
Roger Ebert, Life Itself. And what did Mr. James have to say about this project?
Well, he talked about how Ebert was sort of a kingmaker for him as well, like back when Steve James was starting out, because in 1994 they named James's documentary Hoop Dreams. Siskel and Ebert both said it was their favorite movie of '94, and so he talked a lot about their personal relationship and how Ebert really insisted on including some of the harder to watch parts of the movie in the hospital, where Ebert it's his last days.
Yeah, Roger Ebert lost his jaw to cancer, and I hesitate to say this, but I think somebody needs to say some of those scenes kind of overpower Life Itself.
It is. It's I really enjoyed the documentary. There are some really tough stuff to watch. So if you can't deal with the end of life stuff, then that's.
But it really explains his relationship to Siskel.
Oh, and those are
they
some
were competitors.
Those are some really funny parts. These guys did not get along until maybe at the very end they got to understand. But there's a bunch of great outtakes. Is right after the camera stops, these guys just jaw at each other. It's just great.
And a big tentpole we should mention is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Who knew that would be a good movie?
I think it ties X-Men as my favorite, popcorn blockbusters of the summer.
Right.
It's because there's kind of a lot of social commentary on war and peace here. You have a hero and a villain on both sides of this struggle. There's Gary Oldman and Jason Clarke. One wants to strike peace, one wants to have war with the apes. Then on the other side we have Caesar, played by Gollum, Andy Serkis. But then
has he ever played a human in a movie?
No, he's King Kong too. But then there's an ape too that wants to attack. So there's this internal struggle on both sides.
It's an anti-war movie.
It really it is a great war commentary.
And we got to mention Snowpiercer, which I think is the wildest movie of the summer.
So bizarre.
And it's on demand. On demand. Snowpiercer.
Yes, and it's in a couple theaters around the DC area too, the specialty theaters. But it's a wild movie by a South Korean director. Actually, Tarantino's favorite South Korean director.
Yeah.
So that gives you a little hint. It's kind of that old boy style violence.
Les Miserables on a train.
Yeah, but so it's basically after a new ice age has started with climate change, and all the survivors are on this one long, never-ending train. But there's a social class thing going on where the rich are at the front of the train and the poor are at the back, and they have to. Chris Evans, Captain America himself, they have to lead a rebellion up the train.
Just fabulous.
Wild movie.
I think it's been a great summer.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to talk to you, Jason
Thanks for
Fraley
having
from
me.
WTOP, and we'll be right back.
Baby, please. Baby, please come back to me. Baby, please.
That's right. That's right. Here we are. Oh, look, it's movie premiere night. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special report from the Film Festival circuit. Please welcome our faithful correspondent, Mr. Joe Hansard.
Hey, Arch.
Joe, you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, isn't this great? So you've been to a film festival.
Yes, I was invited to the Frederick FIlm Festival on your dime.
Yeah.
I used your ticket.
I didn't pay for that. Oh, well,
yeah,
they gave
you couldn't
me a
make
free
it.
ticket.
Yeah, you had a free ticket. It was a little tricky. But it's Ed Sanchez's new horror movie called Exists.
Exists?
Yeah, and you and Ed go way back since
We
he
do.
was a student at Montgomery College.
I told him not to make the Blair Witch Project, and he's never forgiven me.
Right. He
Well, shall
ignored your
we
advice.
take a look at your report?
Let's take a look at that film.
All right, let's roll them.
Hi, I'm Joe Hansard, roving correspondent for the Arch Campbell Show. I'm here at the Frederick FIlm Festival for a special VIP screening of Eduardo Sanchez's new Bigfoot movie called Exists. It's really exciting. You can see the crowd is gathering, and we have the official backdrop of Exists, the movie. Really exciting.
This is the biggest thing to happen to Frederick since white-walled tires.
Arch said I was comped a ticket here today, and there was a little misunderstanding at the box office.
And who are you again? With who?
I'm with the Arch Campbell Show.
I'll get around to it. I'll hook you up.
The Arch Campbell Show writing staff has written up a little Bigfoot quiz here.
The Arch Campbell Show has a writing staff?
It's really Arch.
All right, that's what I thought.
And his intern, she's pretty cute.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, Arch always gets cute interns.
Can you tell us a little bit about Exists?
It's a Bigfoot movie. It's like I've been trying to make a Bigfoot movie since I was a little kid. Premiered earlier this year in South by Southwest. It did the world premiere there, and it won an audience award, which we're very proud of. I haven't won an audience award since Blair Witch Project, so it's a good sign. It's a real crowd pleaser, this movie. You know, Bigfoot's always a crowd pleaser. And you know, people are saying that they've never seen Bigfoot like this, so it's good. It's I think we did it right.
I know you did a web series called Paranormal with screenwriter Jamie Nash, and you had Bigfoot show up in season 2. Was Exists sort of an amplified version of that or inspired by that?
Well, you know, I want people to see Paranormal for what it is, but actually that episode of Paranormal is a prequel to Exists. So it's chapter 0, and then Exists is chapter 1. So if anybody wants to know what happens before Exists starts, that episode will explain it all.
And you showed the tender side of Bigfoot in that episode. He actually had a love scene with one of your actors.
Yes, you know, we were on the fence about that. We were wondering, you know, would Bigfoot have, you know, sexual relations with a human? And we said, yeah, if the human is sexy enough, then I think it would.
I'm pregnant.
Joe, that's your report.
So there you have it. That's my report, Arch.
Is that the only shirt you own?
Well, I slept in this shirt, actually, and just came from the film festival.
I noticed.
Came right here.
Yeah,
I didn't want to be late.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for that report.
You're welcome, Arch.
We'll be right back, I think. There we go. Thank you so much for being here. Jane Horowitz, thanks so much.
Thank you.
I'll get out of here. Jason Fraley, WTOP. We'll see you soon there.
Thanks,
Joe,
Arch.
thanks for that
really
report.
Fun. You're welcome.
And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, get out of here and don't ever come back. Thank you for watching. These are the people that made tonight possible. Bye-bye.